Okay. So here's my government issued ID. In my audience, I have Josh, Maddie, Andrea, and Christian. I'm Alana Anderson, and I will go ahead and start my timer. Okay, so pit bulls have this reputation as an aggressive dog breed rather than an affectionate and loving breed. Many people see them as this rather than for what they truly are. So there are many different opinions of pit bulls. Although they were originated to be aggressive, they were bred in order to tire out bulls in order for them to fall asleep or tire because of exhaustion, collapse due to exhaustion. And then once that was outlawed, they were then pit against, in a pit where the pit bull comes from, pit of rats, and would be timed to see how many rats a certain dog could kill in the allotted amount of time. That's where they got their name pit bull. But over the years, they eventually made their way to the Americas and became known as the American Stafford Bull Terrier, which is what they really are, and not pit bull. The pit bull was actually used to fight in World War I and World War II. They were taken overseas, and one of the most famous pit bulls that took part in World War II was Stubby. He was a war hero, actually has a statue of him, and an animated movie as well. There was a site called Lovable that has tried to change the opinion of many people when they see pit bulls. After World War II, Lovable did some research and they ended up coming up with the history of pit bulls, and they discussed what their transition was after the war. After World War II, when all of the animals and the soldiers came home, the pit bulls eventually became companions and working dogs. They were kept as household pets, and quote, most pit bulls were bred and kept primarily as companions, end quote, by Lovable in The History of Pit Bulls, written in 2020. So over the years, they changed their view of pit bulls from aggressive to loyal companions. However, some people still see pit bulls as aggressive or bad. In Arkansas, there was actually a town called, I believe it was Maumau, Arkansas, and they had actually outlawed owning a pit bull in the city. Eventually, in 2021, they held a conference to where they could possibly undo that decision and allow pit bulls as pets again. However, one of the council members, Steve Mosley, said, quote, pit bull dogs are fighters and they tend to snap. I don't think you can blame the owner. If the dogs aren't here, they're not going to bite anybody. However, when there are actually statistics such as this one on the bottom corner here, done by the American Temperament Test Society, where it shows that pit bulls have a very good temperament and are actually the second nicest dogs, following labs as household pets. According to a book called Blue Nose Pit Bull Dog Breed Information and Owner's Guide, Price, Temperament, and More by Ivor Gromov, sorry. He said, when raised in a loving environment, these pups are sweeter and more affectionate than you can ever imagine. By Gromov, Blue Nose Pit Bull, Dog Breed Information and Owner's Guide, Price, Temperament, and More of 2022. So it was actually written earlier this year and published earlier this year. I do have a video of a big baby pit bull. Now, before I close, there is a story that does cover a pit bull who actually saved his owner's life on multiple occasions. But from this news story, it was about a man who has had diabetes since he was young. And while he was sleeping, he went into a diabetic coma. His 3-year-old pit bull, Colby, prodded him awake while unfortunately giving him some scratch wounds, but that was the only way to get him awake because his blood sugar was so low. And according to the doctor and the individual's doctor, he said, quote, if Colby hadn't woken him up, he would have died because his blood sugar was at 16 when normal blood sugar is 120. So he was very, very close to the brink of death and ended up going into a diabetic coma. So as you can see from all of these different examples and sources, pit bulls aren't the mean and aggressive dogs that many people view them as. They are truly good family pets and love affection and love being near their owners. So thank you for listening, and y'all have a great day.